But today, what I'll be talking about is why your Instagram ads is not converting and how you can easily fix that. Now, most people have been running adverts on Instagram, and some are getting results, some are not getting results. Some are complaining about conversion, while some are packing conversion, like them they chop conversion steady. So, and this is something I've been doing not one, not two, not even 5 years. I've been doing it for more than 8 years. I've been running adverts both for clients in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And I've handled businesses, varieties of businesses, direct to consumer, direct to business, even for coaches, for digital course, or even for physical product. And even for the most awkward, like somebody that wants to teach you how to make soap. Yes, the liquid soap, the bathing soap, and every other thing you can think of. So on today we'll be talking about why your Instagram ads is not converting, and how you can know, or how you can know that okay, there is an issue somewhere, and the solution of what to do about it. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. So number one that can be an issue to you is when you have a wrong audience. Now, like the example I just cited, now I want to teach you how to make soap. Most likely your audience is going to be females. Most likely your audience is going to be, let's say, between anybody lower than 50 years, because those are the people that want to learn how to make soap, maybe make it for themselves, make it, maybe use it to do business or anything around that. Now, when you don't understand the audience, you are going to have very wrong information. While some people will tell you that okay, both men and women can be interested in soap making, me and you knows that it is women that are going to be more interested, because it is something that they can use as a business endeavor. Some men will be interested, but the higher proportion of those that are going to be interested are going to be women. So if your audience is wrong from the start, there's nothing you can do. And there are various versions to the audience, but the most obvious one is if you have to choose a man for your campaign, you decide to include both man and woman. While you might get some traction, you might not get the kind of results that you want. You understand? So if the audience is wrong, every other thing is going to be wrong. So you have to be very, very particular about that. Now, the next one is weak creative. Now, if you're creative, maybe you want to use image. If your image is not compelling enough, and your write-up with the image also is not catching enough, you are not going to make any traction, you are not going to have any results when it comes to your adverts. And these are the things that you would have to run various tests, various angles to be able to get the kind of result that you want with your campaign. Now, these are things that if you don't start the adverts, you cannot know. If you don't start the advert, you cannot know. You can guess from January to December, but until if you put it inside the algorithm, put it inside the platform, see people's reaction, see how the algorithm throw it in on their platform, the various angles in which they use it, before you can now know, okay, is this creative good, is this creative bad. So that's another factor. And the last factor is you don't have a funnel. Yes, you might be running Instagram ads, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a funnel, which is the flow in which you want your customer to do. Okay, maybe you want to set up adverts for people to come into your DMs. Maybe when they come into your DMs, you have a series of questions you are going to ask them, and you have the designated angles that you are going to push them to. So let's say, for instance, now I see your advert, and there's no call to action. You just said, come and learn soap making. I will teach you how to make soap. If you are interested, let's go. Am I to message you on WhatsApp? Am I to send you a DM? Even if I send you a DM, how do I proceed? Do I need to make payment? All those kind of questions have to have been answered with your funnel. Now, this thing look very, very basic. Sometimes when I go on some platforms, people dance, like they jump on the trends and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's not good to jump on trends, but like it's like the name sound, it's trend, it comes and goes. But when you have a very good working advert, you keep milking it even for as long as possible. I've set up a campaign that we did that same campaign for good 2 years. Like we were just feeding its budgets steadily for good 2 years. So if you have a solid campaign, you might use that as long as possible. So if these three things are not in your advert, you are going to have issue, which is, or in your advert, you are going to have issue. You have wrong audience, you have weak creatives, and you don't have a detailed or a analyzed funnel. Funnel is just the way, it's just a term used whereby how your customers or potential leads are going to move. Okay, I see your advert, I click on DMs. From DMs, I ask you some questions, or you ask me some questions, I answer, and then from there we proceed to the next phase. So if you are having these issues, these are some of the solutions that you can go about. Now you need to define your audience. If you don't define your audience, there is no way you want to. If I am to, based on previous campaigns that I did, if I am to do or answer about the wrong audience, the first thing I want to do is, what am I trying to sell? I want to sell soap making classes, which is I want people to come to my class to come and learn soap making, which is they are going to pay me and the likes, and the class is going to be held via Telegram channel or group. You understand? So how will the process go? So if you are familiar with platforms, you will understand that Facebook is very partial when you are setting up adverts and you decide to move some of those traffic outside of their platform. How do you overcome this? Then you definitely want to most likely set up your funnel in a way whereby when I see your advert, I'm interested, I click on send DMs, I enter your DM, you tell me that okay, this class is going to be held on a Telegram channel, it's going to cost you this, are you interested? So most likely I'm going to reply yes or no, and I will reply yes, and you tell me that okay, I have to make a particular payment. After the payment, I drop proof, you give me access to the group or to the channel. That is a funnel, like from start to finish. That is it, the simple funnel. So if your audience is not defined, you will not even know how you want them to move. Now we've been able to say for my soap making class, most of my audience, like 80% to 85% of my audience are going to be women. Definitely I want to focus my campaign on women. So when I define that okay, my audience is going to be women between the ages of let's say 21 or 23 to 40. Now you will say, how did I know about this? In Nigeria as of today, we all know that a 20 something, most even 20 something, don't even know, have idea of what they want to do, and they don't even think that it's necessary for them to come and learn something which is a skill that would feed them. If it's not a 9 to 5, or if they do their 9 to 5, they are too tired or stuff like that. So that's the reason why we are targeting those. There are going to be some that will be interested in that. So when you do your 23 or 21 to 40, that is your audience, females most likely. Now the next thing is definitely you want your advert to run only on Instagram, because that is where you want your focus to be. So you can even experiment with it, maybe Instagram feeds only, maybe Instagram stories only. It depends on you, but you have to still test. You have to have run the advert. So depending on what the algorithm is telling you, that's what you're going to react to. So now you've defined your audience. Now the next thing is about your creative. Me and you just agreed just now that the audience that are going to be interested in my products are women between the ages of 21 to 40. You understand? So now when I want to do my write-up, most likely definitely a female has to be involved in the image or the video I want to use. The soaps that I've done or that I want to teach them has to be in the graphics or the videos that I want to come up with. And at the same time, my write-up, are you a working class woman, or do you find it difficult to make ends meet as a full housewife? Now you've not only chosen the audience size, you've also used your write-up, which is your creative, to call out your potential audience. Now like this, definitely you call them out, subconsciously they will answer in their head, oh yes, this guy's talking to me. You understand? I'm a full housewife. I want to make money. I don't just want to be idle. You understand? So these are the ways in which you can perfect this. Now we've answered the audience, we've done the, what's it called? The creative. Now the funnels, I just explained that, which is they come into your DMs, you ask them some questions, they feel interested, and probably maybe they move on to the next phase. Now if they have done that, you've solved the issue of no weak audience, weak creatives, and your funnel as well. So when you now run your adverts, the next phase, you need to be conversant with what you have to look out for. What are the things that you are going to look out for that will tell you maybe your advert is converting or your advert is working well and the likes? You understand? So these are what I'll consider leaks. You don't want these leaks to be in your advert. If this leaks is occurring, how do you solve it? How do you patch it? The number one is the impression. If the impression is not moving at the rate in which you are probably excuse me, you're spending like 5k to 10k and your impression is not even up to 1,000, bro. So which means that your advert is not serving, like it's not being pushed. So definitely your creative is weak. That's what it's telling you. If your advert not the worker, it means that your creative is weak. So you definitely want to kill the creative you're using, come up with another creative that is going to answer you. You understand? So these are the things that you want to do or take notes when you are setting up your advert. The number two thing is the clicks. Now people are going to be entering your DMs. You understand? But if they are not entering, maybe you didn't set the call to action very well, or you didn't tell them what to do, whereby you just plastered it and you feel as if automatically they are meant to know. You understand? Because if you want them to DM and you go and set up Instagram visit or profiles, or you go and set up clicks, they'll just keep clicking. Because if I like your advert, that's considered clicks. If I share, that's considered clicks. You understand? If I repost, like Instagram has repost now, that's considered clicks. So they just use that. But you want it to optimize for the action in which you want, which is you want them to send you message. So make sure that your CTR is set, your call to action is set very well to send Instagram messages. So the next one is your DMs. When people read your DMs, does it just go silence, like dead silence, nothing is happening? So which means that probably the angle in which you're asking them could be question, or the angle in which you are telling them what to do is not really good very well. So because one of the interesting thing is, if I come into your DM now, I'm interested to join your class. You now said, instead of after asking me all the questions, you two just went silent. I went silent. You understand? So your follow-ups has to be there. You don't just send me message, or you just copy paste bunch of messages for me. You want to send the message and let me give you a reply. Am I interested in your class? It should be a yes or no question. You shouldn't just write, am I interested in your class? If you are interested, do this, do that. No, you want to get a reply from them. Are you interested in our class? Yes. Okay. Why exactly are you interested? Now, one of the things I notice about most people that use that run adverts is, because they sell clothes, they'll be like, automatically they've seen my clothes now. Like, what's special about it? I've written my price. But people might still want to do something other than just buy that particular clothes. You understand? So that's that about that. You've asked questions, they replied, but furthermore, they have not sent you follow-ups about maybe they've made payment or not. You understand? So what you want to note is, why are they not replying? Why are they not making payments? You understand? Some of the things you can do is, you can try to follow up. Maybe most likely, let's say like 72 hours follow up. Like, you send them message today, you give them 24 hours, they did not reply, you follow up again like, oh, I've not seen your payment, are you interested? The class is really getting closer and stuff like that. Similar things that will make them entice. You can come up with products or bonuses. You can come up with time sensitive discounts. You can come up with anchoring, which is most likely, if you are to do this outside, it's going to cost you like whatever amount. but you can get it for this discounted price. So it feels like, okay, you are really wanting to help them. So these are the things you want to do. And another example is, let's say I'm selling clothes, female clothes now. You understand? They have gowns, they have jackets, they have polo and the likes. Now, a female coming to you, how much is this gown? You said, let's say 25,000. And they're like, wow, that's expensive. And you'll be like, do you know that if you buy this gown and this jacket, because I see that you're a working class person, instead of paying just 25,000 for the gown, you can pay 45,000 for both the gown and the jacket. That's like a discount for them. You understand? So you now keep following up with them, giving them more enticing deals, making it time sensitive as well. So like this, you are not just after copy pasting scenarios to them, but you have a strategy of closing them very well. You understand? Sometimes some will be like, "Ah, I don't really trust, are you really scam and stuff like that?" You'll be like, okay, you know what will happen? Probably we split the bill. You pay 50% now. When you get your stuff, you pay 50% on that. So there are various angles, you understand? You can even split it into standard, premium, and the likes. You understand? You can even run a subscription base. That's how crazy when it comes to you want to run offers. So you are the one that want to sell. You are the one that will come up with the ideas, with the concept. So these are just some of the ways in which you can have more closing of sales. It's not just about buy, 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 buy. You understand? Because you can put your advert in their face, they will be interested, but lives happen. Maybe their baby is crying, maybe distraction occur, work occur. So those follow-ups are very, very important. You understand? Your advert will do its own. The follow-ups, which is the DMs follow-up, will also do its own. Now, these are some of the ways in which I've implemented various stuff that I've also advised some clients as well. Even one happened recently. There's something I always tell people, that you can have the same brand and they are going to react differently in different ad accounts. Ad account 1 with brand A is doing very well. And I felt like, okay, let me try it in ad account 2. With the same creative, the same write-up, I took it to ad account 2. I can tell you that he didn't go the way I expected. You understand? I have to now look for what works for ad account 2. It's the same thing when people say, people are copying my brand. People are copying my brand. People are copying my brand. They are copying my advert. This person carrying my video. That's like, it means that you are doing something and it's working. That's why people are copying you. So what you should be bothered about is, well, how do I optimize this? You understand? There was a advert I did for a client that sells shapewears and the likes, based in Ghana. We were using Foluke Daramola kind of video, the popular actress, and we did that advert very, very well, to the extent that some people saw it and just carry it and started using it. And the moment one or two other people start using your video, your images, go and check, your campaign is going to have issue, because now, even though you are the first person, it will backfire. But you shouldn't be bothered about that. You already know the source that works. Probably if you look at that, Ramola said some words, so we just look at the video and we reverse engineer it and give it to someone else, and they did it and it picked up again. So it's the same thing when it comes to your brand as well. So when you have issues like this, I mentioned earlier the issues, which is you have wrong targeting, which is wrong audience, or maybe your creative is weak, or your funnel is not well structured, and I advise you on what to do. And I also point out that what are the other likely leaks that could happen. Probably impression is not picking up, you are not getting clicks, or is radio silence in your DM. I've also told you what to do. So these are just some of the things that you can do that can help you to improve your Instagram life. Now, probably you have an advert that has an issue, or you're about to start an advert and you're not sure. You can just send me a DM. We will look at it, we'll audit it, and we'll advise you accordingly on what to do. Or we can even do a one-time setup for you that you can always just funnel your budget in, and it will always give you a result. That one is certain. It's not all these can you target rich people? Everybody is rich and everybody is poor. It's all about taste. if your advert no catch them, there's nothing you can do. The same people that tell you that they don't have money are the same people that will buy from your competitor at even more expensive price than you. So these are the things that you can do that is going to improve your Instagram results and would also give you quality leads or quality customers that are going to buy for you. Thank you and see you in my next live. You can like my page on Facebook, I go live there too, and you can follow me on TikTok, I go live there too. See you until another time. Thank you.